this next lesson is called Writing Equations of Parallel and Perpendicular Lines. And before we start anything, I just want to make sure you understand what parallel and perpendicular lines are. So you can see this says that parallel lines never meet, they never intersect, so they will go on infinitely and never cross paths. Something to note about parallel lines is they have the same exact slope. Perpendicular lines, lines that are perpendicular, parallel lines are shown by what looks like a number 11. So these are supposed to show lines that will never meet. Perpendicular lines are noted by this symbol because perpendicular lines do meet, and they're a very specific type of intersecting pair. When perpendicular lines meet, they create a 90-degree angle, always they always create a right angle. And in order to achieve that, lines that are perpendicular have slopes that are opposite in sign and the reciprocal of each other. So what we're going to do is first write an equation of a line that is, well, parallel to 1 and then perpendicular to 1. Let's start here. I'm a little bit rusty. I hope this is coming through okay. I don't think I'm on camera though. So here you're going to write an equation of the line that passes through this given point and is parallel to this given line. Now, you know already from when we were writing linear equations in slope-intercept form that we need two things in order to write an equation. We need to know a slope and we need to know a point that's on that line. And we're going to be following the same information here, the same exact steps. So the good news is that not everything we're doing in this lesson is brand new for you. The first thing that you have to do is make sure that your equation is in slope-intercept form, and it is. The next thing that you have to do is you have to make sure that you identify what the slope is. So here's our point, and we want to know what the parallel slope is to this line. Well, parallel lines, as we just said, have the same exact slope. The slope here is a positive 2. So then what we have to do is basically solve for the b. Because when we're writing an equation, we know that this one is going to be in slope-intercept form. So let's go ahead and write that equation. Our next step is to substitute in the x and the y from the ordered pair, and we're going to use the slope of positive 2. So in place of y, we will use positive 3. Our slope is positive 2. Our x is negative 1. And we don't know what the y-intercept is yet. So now we'll go and we'll simplify this. This 3 stays the same for now. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2 plus b. In order to get to the b by itself, you know you have to put a positive 2 on both sides. And when you do, you have that b equals 5. Well, now that we know the slope and we know the y-intercept, we can write our equation. Again, it's going to be in slope-intercept form. The slope is 2. And we're going to disregard this positive 2. This is the y-intercept from the equation we're writing that's parallel. Our new y-intercept is positive 5. And so this is an equation of the line that passes through negative 1, 3 and is parallel to y equals 2x plus 2. So now what we're going to do is we're going to erase this because I'm limited in the number of boards I have at home. And what we're going to do here is write an equation of the line that passes through but is perpendicular. I'm going to have to write that differently. Perpendicular to a given line. And so what we're working with here now is the 0.51, and we're looking at the equation y equals 5x minus 2. And just like before, we have our ordered pair, we have our x and our y. We're going to identify the slope that we need for the line that's perpendicular, and then we will solve for b and have our equation. So the thing to remember with a perpendicular slope is that it changes in two ways. First, since we have a positive 5 here, our slope is positive, our perpendicular slope is going to be a negative number. The next change is that we are going to take our slope and write its reciprocal. The slope here is a positive 5 over 1, so the reciprocal, the inverse of that, is 1 over 5. Now that we have our perpendicular slope, we're going to do exactly what we did before. We're going to substitute in our y, our slope, and our x, and solve for our b. So let's start with our slope-intercept form. We'll use this positive 1 for y. Our new perpendicular slope is a negative 1 over 5. Our x is positive 5. We're going to put that over 1. We don't know yet what our slope is. And then we'll go through and simplify. Negative 1 over 5 times a positive 5 over 1. Well, those 5's cancel out, and that leaves us with a negative 1. And then after we put a positive 1 on both sides to get the b by itself, we have a y-intercept of positive 2. And so what that means for us is the equation of, because now we have to write our equation, the equation of the line is y equals, we have to remember to use our new perpendicular slope, so negative 1/5 x, and we said our y-intercept is positive 2 plus 2. So again, there's nothing really super new in this lesson for you. This writing equations is just something that you might be a little rusty on for now. The pivotal piece is the slope, and we'll work through that over the course of the week. And I'm sure that you will have no trouble writing these equations.